Hello, this is Victor, and this week I want to talk about how to paint black or very dark clothes. So I'm going to explain you how I did the clothes of this ninja, that they are black with some bluish highlights. Okay, so the tutorial is going to be based on how I did that. It's a quite easy and fast way to paint black with a quite nice result. So be ready and let's start. So here we have another one that I'm going to paint for this tutorial. And the first thing I will do on the base color, instead of using black as a base color, because black, if you're starting with black, you cannot do any shading, I will start using Dark Reaper color from Citadel. This is a very dark gray that have a bluish tonality. You have seen some of my other tutorials. Last week I was using this also in other miniatures. So you will apply this a thin layer, and yeah, you will see that these miniatures were priming white because I primed them together with a lot of other miniatures, and I was using white at the moment to prime. But you can wear this also on top of black. But I will recommend, if you have the miniature priming black, apply this color anyway, if you want to follow this method. There are a lot of different ways to do black or very dark colors. This is one of the ways I want to share. If you look in my archive, you will see that I also use other methods to do the black. So in that case, I will paint all the clothes with that color, just a thin layer. This is going to be the base color for the black. So I will cut the video here and I will be back in a minute once I have applied this color all over the clothes. So once the Reaper is completely dry, we are going to wash the miniature with Nun oil. And the way we are going to go to black, and we are going to have very nice shading. So we apply this generously on the miniature. Be careful that you apply a uniform layer and you don't forget any spot. So be sure that you are shading everything. Don't worry if you dirt any of the white parts, because they're going to be painted later on. So in that case, I just go very fast to do all the shading. And here you can do 1 or 2 layers of wash depending on how it's looking like the first layer. If you want darker and black, it's better to go to 2 layers. In my case, I think I will go only for 1 layer because I think the color is good enough. You can use the same technique if you do, for example, a Shin Assassins from Skaven, or if you do some dark Eldar or some dark elves. You can also use this technique for the clothes. As you can see, this is pretty fast. The wash is completely applied. I'm just checking that I don't forget. And I don't forget any spot. So this is how it's looking like. I apply the shade, the Nun oil all over the miniature. And now, as usual, when we apply a wash, we have to wait until the wash is completely dry. This is how it looks like once the wash is completely dry. So this is more or less how it's looking like. And now the next step that I will do, I will use again Dark Reaper. Okay. And I will start doing the highlights with Dark Reaper together with Fenrir Grey. So I will use these two colors. This is the first highlight that I will do. And what you do is, you go, for example, here I will start on the legs. You go to the part that it's supposed that the light, it's so the top part of the wrinkles, and you start applying the Dark Reaper. Okay, so you see, and then you take a little bit of Fenrir Grey and you just do on top of that. Okay, so these are the parts that I apply. So for example here, all this one I will apply Dark Reaper. Here we go a part that is more visible. For example here on the torso I will, and because of the wash it's very easy to identify what areas should be much, can be a little bit clearer. The other trick is not to apply Fenrir Grey in all the highlighted parts. Don't need it. For example here on the torso, of course this big one should apply. Here these two, you should do something like that, but in that one here in the middle I just apply a little bit, but not so, something like that. It's difficult to see this on camera, so this is okay. These are the highlights that you want to do. Okay, so I will do a little bit more and then I will do the rest of camera. So for example here on the neck I will do these things. Okay, I will do also here. So all you try to emphasize all the different wrinkles and that you have on the clothes, to give volume to this clothes. If you only play black, it's going to be very difficult sometimes to highlight. So this is why I wanted to try this method. It's a different of the methods that I was used to do. See here. So and the advantage of making the black with the wash is that you have very good vision on the place that you have to highlight. So this I will keep working doing that. So remember, first Reaper, Dark Reaper, and second I apply Fenrir Grey. Okay, so I will keep doing that and I will show you the result once all this is applied. So this is how it looks like when I did this first highlights on this black. And now what I will do is I will use Fenrisian Gray and Fenris Gray to do a second level of highlights. So what we'll do is will apply Fenrisian Gray and sometimes we are going to darker it with Fenris Gray on the points that we think should be some bright, some highlights. So for example, one point can be here on the knee. So you apply just like making accents of light somewhere to give, this will give a lot of volume and will make them into much lively. So for example here it can be another place. Do you only do touches of this in the places that you think it's interesting. Another place that will have some highlights, some more extreme highlights, have to be this on the head. So you can do something like that here, where you follow a little bit, so you see, and then I will do very short strokes like that. Then you do this right. If you consider this is too extreme, you always can use Fenrisian Gray around this to soften the transition. But the idea is to have some extreme highlights in some parts. So for example, another place that is interesting to do it will be here. This wrinkle. I also have Dark Reaper ready. For example, in the case that I want a very thin one, I can thin it just applying Fenrisian Gray next to it. So for example like that. And then on the hood, there's a big wrinkle. You can do this big wrinkle like that, and then you accent some of the main wrinkles, and I will do here at the border of the hood. Okay, here there is another one that is interesting, so I will follow this one, and that way you show all the different details on the clothes that if you only paint black in any way, they will not be visible anymore. So, but when you do this most extreme color, only apply on the areas that you think are giving some interesting touch. So for example here, I will do this part here, just something like that. And then okay, you can see sometimes I just apply Fenrisian. Here on the back can be interesting to make just a very soft accent, something like that. Then the other wrinkle I will do the opposite, so I will start from the arm, for example, and I will go down. Now you see here I did it too thick. I take Fenrir Gray and I thin it. If you deviate, you also can use the Reaper Gray and that way, and then we'll be sure that I follow the right one. Okay, so it's a matter of looking the miniature, see where you want to put some extra highlights, and add a little bit of this Fenrisian Gray So I think no need to explain more. Just I will keep doing that, and I will connect the camera once I finish to show you how it's looking like after applying the accents with Fenrisian Grey. So this is how it looks like once I did the second level of highlights using Fenrisian Grey, sometimes mixed with Fenris Grey. So you see I just add some more extreme highlights in some of the parts of the miniature to give some extra volume, and I think it's working pretty good. So this is finalizing this tutorial on the black. It's finalizing also the work on this cloth of this ninja. So I hope you find it interesting, this way of painting black. Please leave your comment below, let me know what you think, and thanks a lot for watching. Bye!